Hey there, friends. Have you ever come across a human design chart and thought, what the heck is that thing? It's so weird looking, right? I mean, what the heck is human design? And why should you even care? Today, I'm going to tell you exactly what human design is in very, very simple steps. And we're going to start with the why you should care part. So why would you want to know your human design? What is this weird mystical thing anyway? Well, if you've ever felt burnt out, run down, or pissed off at your job, then you may want to look at your human design chart. If you've ever felt health issues crop up, or you feel like you're pushing things all the time and you're not making any progress, you may want to look at your human design chart. So this is the two main reasons that I see why you would want to look at your human design chart. But then when you get your chart, what the heck does it all mean? So I'm putting a disclaimer out there right now. There are 5 types in human design. Just because you are one type or another, or your friend is one, or you know a person that's a certain one, that does not mean you get to label that person or label yourself and put yourself in a box. These types are not supposed to be for you to put yourself in a box or anybody else. These types are just to give you the knowledge so that you can work with your energy instead of against your energy like you've been conditioned to do more than likely in life. So I'm putting that out there right now. All right, let's start with generators. About 33% of the population, give or take. The signature theme for a generator is satisfaction, right? If you are out of alignment as a generator, you are going to feel frustrated. Frustrated is all get out, right? So the strategy for generators is the waiting to respond. Now that can be frustrating. Waiting is so hard to do, right? However, when you're making decisions, you want to wait for those things to come up for you to respond to so that you can use your magic decision-making tool to make an aligned decision for you. Because the more time that we spend in satisfaction as generators, the more time we're going to be like, yeah, life is rolling, right? Not saying that everything is rainbows and butterflies. However, the more you align yourself with this decision-making tool, the better off you're going to be. And there's 2 for generators. One is the gut response and the other one is the emotional wave. That's a completely different video. So let's move on. Next, we talk about manifesting generators. In slang lingo, I guess you would call them manigens, right? Some human design people don't like calling them manigens. I don't know why. It's just like when you say by the way or BT dubs, you know what. Whatever. However, manifesting generators are about 37% of the population, give or take a few percentages, and they have the same strategy as the generator, the waiting to respond. The difference is with manifesting generators, they respond or they wait to respond, then they test out what's going on, and then they get to wait to respond again, right? So it's kind of like it's more of a cycle thing. Now, when you're in alignment, Manigens, it is peace and satisfaction, right? That totally sounds like a hippie movie. And I'm all for that. I'll watch that movie. However, when you're misaligned, it's anger and frustration, like, oh, all the emotions, right? So just notice yourself. It's not a bad thing or a good thing if you're angry or frustrated. It's just a thing. And to be like, oh, wait, this is telling me something, right? We all get universal signs to tell us something, and then we just have to come back to ourselves and be like, what is this telling me? And, run through it. Journal if you want to. So again, as with generators, manifesting generators have 2 different types of magic decision-making tools, and that is the gut response and the emotional wave. So let's move forward. Now we're going to talk about reflectors. These people are only about 1% of the population, and they have the same authority as their strategy, right? So strategy and authority, or their decision-making tool, is to wait 28 days or a lunar cycle for big decisions. Your signature theme or your aligned theme is when you're feeling surprised, like pleasantly surprised. And when you're misaligned as a reflector, it is a disappointment feeling, right? You have high hopes for everybody and they're not doing the thing and you're disappointed. So that's reflectors. Next up, manifestors. Manifestors are about 9% of the population, give or take. Now, the strategy for a manifestor is not to manifest things, it's to inform. And the reason being is because manifestors have this powerful creation, manifestation energy. Not saying that nobody can manifest but a manifestor, because that's just not even correct. However, in this context, we are talking about manifestors as an energy type, and they will need to inform people of what they're doing so that people can get on board and help them. Because manifestors, just like reflectors, just like projectors, which are up next, are non-sacral beings, which means they don't have the consistency in the doing energy, so they are there to initiate the energy, right? The aligned theme for a manifestor is peace, and the misaligned theme is anger. So if you feel a lot of rage and anger and you're a manifestor, you might want to take a look at your alignment. And we do alignment work in Reiki, which is really, really powerful. But just knowing that you're one of these types and doing the Reiki, that's where it's awesome. And that is how I do my Reiki sessions. I include all of that, right? Super, super cool, and I love it. So there are two different types of decision-making tools for the manifestor. One is the will center, or the ego, or the heart. It's basically a drive, right? And then the other one is the emotional wave. And last but certainly not least are the projectors. Now, projectors take up about 20% of the population, and their strategy is to wait for the invitation. But if that sounds like the hardest thing ever, like nobody's going to invite me to anything, check out your alignment, because when projectors are aligned, success is their signature theme. Isn't that cool? Now, when they're misaligned, they're feeling resentment and bitterness and, oh, nobody's inviting me to anything. And I can say this from experience because I'm a projector. However, the cool thing is about projectors is that projectors have several decision-making tools, okay? And these are magical and they're per chart, right? So I could be a projector that's self-projected, and my friend can be a projector that's splenic projection. So there's different things what the authorities mean, and we'll go over that in another video. However, there is the emotional wave for projectors just as well as the other types. Then there's the ego, which is the heart-driven, the drive, the will. Then there's the self-projected, which is like, does this feel like me? Then there's the mental projector, which they are very, very absorbing of their environment. And so they have to be alone to make the decisions. And there's the splenic projector, which is those little whispers or little thoughts or little feelings that are like, this sounds good, and then it goes away. So that's kind of a like, ooh, let me write that down. Write that down. So those are the 5 types. And next, we're going to go over the profiles. Your profile is the role you're meant to play in this lifetime. If you could imagine anybody else besides Tom Hanks playing Forrest Gump, well, you just couldn't. So here's what we're doing with profiles. Because they are so in-depth and they mean so many different things, there are 12 different profiles. If you want me to go over them, just let me know in the comments below and I'll make you a new video. And better yet, subscribe to our channel so that you know when we post the video for that. So let's dig into it. Your profile is a combination of 2 line styles. There are 6 different line styles which have their own energy. And so we're just going to go over those right now really quick. Line 1 is the investigator. If you have the investigator in your profile, you may need a lot of alone time, and you may love to research and study the death out of everything. But sometimes you can get stuck in the research mode and not move forward. Number 2 is the hermit. The hermit needs the most time alone to just process the energy of others. The cool thing about being alone as a hermit, or being in alone space and alone time, is that you can let your natural genius shine through, and then people will call you out. But be careful not to hermit too much, because people won't even know you exist. Number 3 is the experimenter. So the experimenter needs to mess stuff up, do stuff, try it out, and all the things. The issue with the experimenter that I see the most is that they beat themselves up for experimenting and screwing things up, but it's just the way it's supposed to be. So forgive yourself and love yourself and flow freely through that. Line 4 is the networker. Traditionally in human design, it's called the opportunist, but I didn't like that, so I changed it. Now, the networker has connections. They build relationships. And if you've ever seen the mafia guys on those old shows like The Godfather, and they're like, I know a guy. Totally, that's a line 4 energy. Number 5 is the leader. Now, I'm not talking about just like, oh yes, we're all leaders, we have our own leadership style. That's cool, because we all do. However, leaders are driven to lead the masses. And so they get a lot of stuff projected onto them that they feel they need to lead people through. It's very important for the 5 line or the leader style to step back and be like, is this mine? Is this not mine? Incidentally, in all of human design, we learn how to do that as we do the deconditioning process, and that's another video altogether. Last line style is number 6. Number 6 is what I call the life stage sage. There's 3 distinct life stages for this profile, but essentially you start out as an experimenter, then you graduate to a bird's eye view. Now, I'm not going to go over that too much, but just know, as if you have a 6 line in your profile, you are destined to do amazing things. Not that the other profiles aren't, but it's just people will start coming to you for your guru-ness, right? All right, now it's your turn. Tell me in the comments, if you know your design, what is your human design? And if you don't know, which parts of this video resonated with you the most? Now, I'm going to give you a free resource to pull your own chart if you would like to see it. But I'm going to warn you, it gets a little kooky. The chart looks funky when you first look at it, and it's like, what is this? There's a lot of information that goes into human design, which is why I offer human design consultations. Most people call it a human design reading, but I want you to do more with it than just read, right? I want you to be able to use your cosmic blueprint so that you can feel successful in life, and use your magic decision-making tool and apply it to feel successful in your life, right? So I'm also going to pop that link in the comments if you would like to connect, and if you would like a consultation so that you can have the power of your human design magic decision-making tool. Wow, I can say that 10 times fast. Then go ahead and pop into that link, and I will see you soon. Until next time, have a fantastic day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.